Gentlemen, Glockster 42, also known as Hopalong or Hoppy or Gimpy. Okay, this is the Hobby Boss Romanian. I said it again. It's not freaking Romanian, it's Hungarian. It's a Hungarian M46 prototype, which was built late 44, early 45. Would have gone in production probably summer 45 had the war not ended. So basically, apparently, there's only 2 of these built. There's been more Hobby Boss kits of this thing than there was real. So right up my alley. Yeah, we're going to do a Paper Panzer 46 with this kit once I decide exactly the other vehicles. Probably throw a little bit more weathering on it. But for now, I'm happy with it. Put it up on the shelf until I decide where it's going to go. It's a big tank. Like, you can't really just tell how big of a freaking tank it is. So let's bring in a German Tiger II, just to give you a size relationship of this thing. Okay, hang on, let me reposition camera. Alright, it's as wide, it's as long, and the hull is actually, well, it's as high as a Tiger Mark II. But it only carried a little 75mm gun. What? Yeah! Like, guys, why didn't you build the turret up a little bit bigger and put an 88 on it? But it did have a very big, powerful engine. So they had the speed, they had the mobility, and they had actually a pretty good gun. So this could have been a really good tank. The suspension was a little funky. They didn't use a torque. They kind of used a rubber block, old school suspension on it, if what the kit looks is real. So it's like, yeah, there's some good and some bad on it. But let's take a look at that and let's get this Tiger out of the way. Okay, here's another quick comparison. The French AMX 70, I believe, used the same 75mm gun. Look at the difference in size. Holy Christ, what you can actually, with good engineering, you can get away with. What a difference. Alright, back to the Hungarian M46. I had a blast building this kit. It was fun. It was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed the build. There is photo etch grading under there, which I just added some straps to cover up. I wanted to actually cover it like I did back here, like the Germans did at the end of the war with their air intakes. Put a metal sheet over it. There is grading under there that you can't see at this point. I wanted to do that up here, but then the turret wouldn't function, so there you go. It definitely does have the look of a prototype because there's not a lot of detail. I added some weld lines, some stretch sprue on it to make it look a little bit more realistic. I added some fender hinges in the back and whatnot. Added some grab handles to the side access panels, and pretty much built it. Other than that, stone stock. I did add the plating on the edge here. I cut that out and did that up. I kind of deepened up the notches in the front. Weathered it moderately much. It's still a little bit shiny. You need to hit that down with a little bit more dust and flat. I added this was a rounded mantle like the early Tigers, so I just actually put a piece of L-beam on there and a little bit of epoxy putty and flattened it out somewhat like they did with the late Panther Gs, because that was quite the shot trap. Anything would have deflected right down into the driver and the radio operator's hull. Now, unfortunately, with that, it's a little difficult for them to open and get their heads out and escape. But you know, once you just pull her off to the side, you know, you have full access. It's one of the things of a prototype kit. That kind of stuff does happen. So there we have it, guys. The fit was awesome. I don't think I used a little bit of filler in the barrel, and that was it. The worst part of the kit were the decals. They sucked. They bubbled. They were thick. They didn't respond well to solution, and I got lots of air bubbles. I didn't like the decals at all. That was the weak point of the whole thing. Other than that, highly recommended kit, guys. I picked this up at discount, so if you can too. I don't know if it's a $65 or $70 kit. I think it's $69 Canadian regular price. I picked it up for $35. Somebody else had bought it and brought it in, and they were reselling an open kit, so that's like 50% knockoff. So hey, I like that. Everything was there. But it's a fun kit, guys. Recommended. I think I've babbled on long enough about this Hungarian M46. Later, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.